some people can arrogate power and whatever to themselves. It's all about equating Peter Obi and Tinubu. And I just feel that by so doing, they're just embarrassing Tinubu the more. When Obi was still at university, Tinubu was in the trenches fighting military government, according to Fani Kayode. Hey, this Kayode, some people go say Ekwensu. The former Minister of Aviation, Chieftain Fani Kayode, has come out to say that Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC and former governor of Lagos State, has earned his place in politics. Mr. Fani Kayode claims that while Tinubu was fighting military government, leading Nadeku, and risking his life and freedom for democracy and the restoration of MKO Abiola's June 12th mandate, which had been revoked by the military, Peter Gregory Obi, the presidential flag bearer of the Labour Party, was still a student. And so what? So does that mean make a Tinubu likable or Peter Obi more likable than Tinubu? I don't understand. Wait, it can't be that one. And so because of that, people say they want Obi. So what is the big deal there? And those who say they fight a fight against the military, we know that they did it because of their selfish interests. Can you imagine? Fani Kayode stated that the Labour Party will struggle to win even one senatorial district, let alone the presidential election, because the party lacks a unified structure. Fani Kayode went on to say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already become a very wealthy and successful businessman who has worked and invested heavily in the oil, gas, high-tech and communication sectors when Obi was still in kindergarten. So that means if we are saying Obi is 61 or 62 and Tinubu is 67, 70. So now 9 years wait a senior, so now you don't be that to tell you say maybe the man is over 86 years, because according to what you are saying now, that means for somebody to be in kindergarten and this man has done one thing. I don't know if you want to interpret it literally that way. That means the man is ancestor, just like the way they are calling him. Well, Fani Kayode, if you should judge Tinubu and Obi in that way, we should allow our respected fathers like Edwin Clark, Mbazulike, Amici, and the rest of them who fought for the independence of this country to be president, one after the other, because it is their turn. Realities on ground shows the difference is clear. Okay? How is that our problem? Hasn't him be compensated enough? Must everyone who oppose military then become president? I beg, tell us something else. I don't understand though. I now understand the reason the Nigeria aviation sector remains in a mess. If people like Fani Kayode could be made a minister of such sensitive section, as ignorant and clueless as he is portraying himself, please somebody should lecture him that in life everything has got its time and seasons. He should realize that the youth want to forcefully take back the country from our ancestors masquerading as politicians. The time of stomach infrastructure is over. Please test your popularity and grassroots acceptance by just contesting for local government chairmanship in its own local government area. Minister call, Minister Ni, lecture him. If that is the case, how come that Emilio Con is still just 70 years only? Ataya. If Obi was in kindergarten, then when Tinubu was buying all manner of things, so how can he just senior him with just 8 years or 7 years? Well, even if he's 100, Emilio Con, yesterday we see 73 years old Charles ascending British throne. He never asked his 32 years old son to rule, and no British empire asked him to step down for his son younger than him. The British is our Oga. They gave us freedom. Can you imagine? Give you freedom. You see mentality. Ask him to become prime minister and see whether he will succeed. He ascended a throne that belonged to the family by inheritance. Nigerians are looking for someone who does not see Nigeria as throne that belongs to his family, and it is his turn to rule. We have suffered under old man Buhari. We cannot even afford to suffer under old man like Bola Tinubu again. Is that the criteria to become president? Okay, when he openly declared not to believe in one Nigeria, FFK, your words are meaningless, but you have sold your conscience for stomach infrastructure and peanuts. FFK is just unserious. I thought you told us you went to a seminary school or what. Look at it this way. You brought Ushibaju to be number two citizen, but today Tinubu is ordinary person like you and I. FFK father was a well-known regional politician, but today FFK is well figured than his father. So what does that signify? Progress. A son should always be greater than his father. So please, FFK should tell us how old is Tinubu, the name of his primary and secondary school, since he's one who knows about Tinubu's biography. Please don't make yourself a laughing stock. If you have nothing to offer, your new party, you better quit. Democracy, my foot, African democracy is all about positioning itself to poach the resources of a nation. Nothing more. None of you is a true Democrat. When you hear Igbos, when you hear Igbos, all of you will be struggling to cross the boundary to other countries. But Obi will not run because his hands are clean. Please allow the sleeping dog to rest. Was Tinubu the one that fought the military and the way? We are no longer in military regime. Remember, your candidate is from APGA to PDP to LP, so it's also monkey jumping. What is this one? Go and sit down with your shaky slave master. Some people, there's something else. Fought democracy. Which democracy are we talking about? They just deceiving themselves. Democracy. Where's the democracy today? He brought Tinubu, Buhari. Where's Nigeria today? Maybe Peter Obi is relying on the marine spirit to become Nigeria president come 2023. So how is that affecting you? I don't understand. And so what? I thought that you were an enlightened man. So what are you going to say about British Prime Minister and Tinubu? Well, your father and your mother are not serious, including your generation. How can you call somebody's father and mad and insane? Must everybody support your candidate? What is supporting your candidate? What are you talking about? I don't understand this propaganda that somebody supports my candidate. When has age become the criteria to become a president of this country? You have forgotten that experience is the best teacher. Tinubu has seen it all, and that is added advantage. If you feel you have the number, sponsor a public bill and forward it to National Assembly to peg each candidate. Can't you campaign for your candidate Tinubu without mentioning Peter Obi? From Minister of Aviation to a campaign boy, shameless man. Well, so if Peter Obi was still in the university when Tinubu was fighting military government, then how old was he again? Thank you for telling us that Tinubu is a very old man, like my great grandfather. Respect for you, Oyempa Tinubu. If Peter Obi was still in school when Tinubu was heading Adeco and was in the trenches fighting the military, like you said, what did you expect a student who Obi was then to do? Leave the university and go and fight the military like Tinubu the fighter? Why didn't you yourself join the warrior Tinubu to fight the military to a standstill? You went and hid yourself somewhere. Sometimes you talk like an inexperienced person.